Good evening once again to you all. Let's quickly start with the dollar index. Let's look at it right from the weekly time frame. I think last week we looked at it on the monthly time frame, right? So now there is something that's actually happening on this dollar index, which I believe we're going to be having some more higher prices, because at some point I started seeing this to be a CRT candle, right? The month of as I was seeing the month of August to have been a CRT candle, right? And it's actually possible that we might want to see price move higher and actually come back up to take uh the candle of August, the high of that candle. So we have really traded so much deep into this fair value gap, even above the 50% of it. All right. So I feel like there's possibility the market might want to clear this high. So we're going to find out if there's any liquidity above this high. We might likely want to see price trade above it, because actually here, this is another block too, right? So which means the market might try to soak that high into this other block, and then we start to get a reversal. It is very, very possible. All right. And the fact that even we did not have a candle closed below this candle did not close below that. That's what makes it more interesting. So let's go back to the weekly time frame where we have this high also in view, right? There's a possibility price might try to soup that before dropping. But remember, we are overall bearish on the dollar now. So it's maybe just possible that we can have a push to the upside, which is just to clear which will be just to clear this high, complete the CRT, and then we move back down. Okay, that's just what might happen. So let's see the weekly time frame. And also on the weekly time frame, we spotted this fair value gap here. Spotted this fair value gap, which was above, which was right here, this one. And also we said this fair value gap was within this breaker here. So we see price. The market actually closed above this candle. Okay, so we are not expecting any instant reversal at the moment. We are not expecting any instant reversal, especially on the weekly at the moment. You can see how this previous weekly candle closed, and this one as well. Still slightly bullish, but with this close, it shows the momentum is dropping, right? So, and we have this fair value gap right here. And remember, this is the August CRT high, right? Let me just put CRT high. That's for the August candle. That's the CRT high for the August candle, right? And then this is the other block. So there's a slight possibility we might get price maybe coming right up to this point, but I don't really think that is going to happen, because around that area we had an IUFUD here, and then the market dropped. So there's likely no possibility for price to come up to that point. Now, why I don't see so much possibility for price coming up to that point is because we already had a tested order block here from this move. So we would not say that this buy is coming from a key level. Suppose that we had a clean order block here. If there was a clean order block here and this movement was reacting to that order block, then we will say that price is going to be clearing that high, right? Those are some of the conditions that you have when you are trading CRT, which means if you have another block like this, and then the market moves higher, right? And then it comes back to some point, and then you're having a CRT candle like this, and then it total soaps the CRT candle into that other block. Or let me say something like this. If we let's say we have the other block here, and then this is the other block. So the next candle takes into the other block, and then it closes back within. So at this point, we can say confidently price is actually going to be coming right up to this point. Okay, it depends if you're having a key level here, but at this point, this other block was mitigated. Even the daily order block as well that was here was also mitigated. So I don't see this move to be that of a strong move, right, to move that high. So with that said, there is a possibility we're going to be having a sell from this weekly fair value gap. But let's look at the daily time frame. I think most of us are day traders will see how if there is a possibility for price to come up to this point, because I'm still having this breaker in line as well because it is within this level. So let's see how the daily looks like. Okay, let's see how the daily looks like. Now, looking at the daily time frame, right? We actually came right up to this candle and we almost took out this other block that was spotted last week. We almost took out this other block. We spotted it last week, and due to the expansion that we had above this high, okay. Now, you always have to pay attention with the candle closes, all right? You have to pay attention with the candle closes. Very, very important. Now, when the market closed above this high, I don't, there is nothing like a reversal I'm expecting until we have price now maybe closing below this low, okay? So at this point, even this one yet, I am not expecting it to be a CRT because we are still overall bullish. We're still overall bullish, although price might actually start selling, but I don't expect it to sell right down to this candle. So which means we might just have this type of CRT here, okay? This is what we'll likely have. Maybe price just do a CRT of this indecision candle and continue higher, okay, into filling this fair value gap. Let me zoom that so that we can see clearly. So which means we can have this candle as our CRT low. Okay, we'll be having that as our CRT low. And then the market feels that, you remember that is going to be our BC, right? So that's our BC right there. So we'll say, all right, if the market opens on Monday, we might have something like this. Maybe we'll open, all right, and then we'll trade down into the fair value gap, and then we'll get a rejection back to the upside going into the weekly fair value gap. Okay, so we're not just going to consider we're not going to consider this candle or this movement here as a CRT. All right, but it's still possible. Everything is possible, but there's more probability for the market to move higher, clearing also this trend line liquidity that was here. Okay, we had this trend line liquidity that was built up here. You can notice that the market start clearing it, so it's likely for the market to go right up to take this high into that fair value gap, and maybe why not even retesting this other block here. So trying to even refine it, we'll have that other block which is clear, and you can say that this is an inducement high into that other block. Okay, that can be an inducement high into that other block. So which means we actually, there's a possibility for more higher prices than it is for selling. But at this point, I would like to see price drop first to this fair value gap, and then we get our buy confirmations from here for price to continue higher. All right. Now, this is mainly because we had this momentum close into a key level. All right. Now, there is something which is based on profiling, right? It is based on profiling. When the market gives you an expansion into a key level, when the market gives you an expansion into a key level, there are only two possible outcomes. All right. It's either you're going to have a retracement or you have a reversal. But then we don't see possibilities of a reversal here. All the possibilities for a reversal here are not high because we expect more higher prices, which is from the weekly time frame. So we can just expect a retracement for more higher prices. Okay, so let's go to that's the daily time frame. Let's see how 4 hour looks like. Okay, so looking at the 4 hour time frame now, good. This looks really good now. Looking at the 4 hour time frame, we could see that all right, price is actually consolidating, and then this is we have this candle here. Okay, we have this. Let me lock this up. Okay, so we're having a 4 hour. probably for our CRT too. Mm. Now we are just looking this, we are using CRT because we want to look at it in-depthly. Okay. We're trying to look at it very closely. That's why we're studying this movement. And you can see it is like kind of a choppy market. So there's a possibility that we're going to be running this candle slow. All right. We're going to be running this candle slow, which is into the daily fair value gap. And also we have this key level here, even this small fair value gap plus this other block. That's some key levels for us to get some bullishness from to continue higher. Okay. Then where is our invalidation? Because that should always be at the back of your mind. Whatever the analysis you are doing, you should always have your invalidation. All right. You should always have your invalidation so that once it's broken, you are not going to be so much focused on forcing a trade. You already have that, you have it in your mind that, okay, my bullish bias is over, so I should focus more on selling now. If you don't have your invalidation, you always find yourself forcing trades in the even in the opposite direction, even when price is showing you that, okay, I'm no more buying, right? Like for example, you'll be in an uptrend and then the market starts shifting lower, even like giving you two consecutive shifts in market structure, but you are still trying to force some entries, hoping to see a spike to the upside. All right. This is because you don't have an invalidation and you're not expecting, or you do not have your invalidation. That's just simple. So this candle, if the market close below it, this becomes a bearish order block, right? So this is our invalidation. If the market closes below this candle, it becomes our order block, and then we expect it now to resist price so that it should continue lower. So that's our invalidation. Till then, if everything is happening here, we're just going to continue looking for higher prices. And we'll only sell if the market breaks below this candle, right? We'll just wait for maybe price to come back here and then give us some kind of reversals, and we get some shorts at that point. So I believe that is okay for DXY. I mean, for DXY. So let me go back to the 4-hour like that. All right. So we have this other block, which is slightly, we have this other block plus fair value gap. Okay. That's some areas we can expect a total soap for more higher prices like that. All right. But if Monday opens and we expand so much higher, maybe that will be left untouched. So the price will continue higher into the weekly fair value gap. If that's okay, let me see you type 1 on the chart. If you've understood everything I've explained on DXY, type 1 on the chart. So please, what's the invalidation on the 4-hour? It remains on the daily time frame, okay? Your invalidation remains on the daily. The other block candle, this is the invalidation. This is the invalidation low. The fact that price is going to take this low does not mean that it is a break of structure. All right. When you're in an uptrend, price rejects lows and it creates higher highs. It rejects lows and it creates higher highs. So you have to stick with a more higher time frame to know your invalidation. Is that understood? So the fact that you are going, if price even closes below this low, does not mean we are now in a downtrend. You need to have a higher view, or a bigger time frame view about what is happening, because the daily might give you a correction, and then the slower time frame will give you a small downtrend in the line of that correction, right? So your invalidations remains on your higher time frame. All right. So let's look at Euro USD into all this. Put Euro USD on the page, and then we'll see how far this is going. So this is Euro USD on my left. Let's look at it on the weekly time frame. So weekly time frame, we traded down into this candle. We even took this candle's low, all right, into this other block again. So let's see monthly time frame. Is there still, let's see if the monthly time frame also have that possibility of the CRT we mentioned on the dollar. All right. So also we have those possibilities, right? You could also see that price after taking this high did not close above it. That's a sign for lower prices. And we have the candles low, which is within this other block here. So it's a possibility price might try to swoop that low into the other block and higher prices will come from there. So now on the weekly time frame, we can also see that the other block that was spotted on the dollar, which was in line with the daily, with the weekly fair value gap, this is the same other block here. So can also say that price might likely be coming down to this low. And remember, I also said there's this low can be an inducement low into the other block, right? So in that case, looking close to this, now, if you look closely here, you are going to notice that this candle closed below this one. So that's why this does not validate this big candle to be the main target. So, but we have also our fair value gap here, and which means you can get price filling it and then lower prices. So let's look at also, this is our invalidation. This is our sell invalidation. Okay, sell invalidation. We expect more lower prices till that invalidation is taken out. So let's look at 4 hour if it is something similar to what is happening on DXY. So 4 hour on Euro USD, this is the high of the daily indecision candle. This move was sponsored by the CPI here. I think so. So price also took out this candles low. Now look at something here. This is if you look at Euro USD, we had some double CRT, but this is the first CRT candle that we had on the DXY. But Euro USD created another one. All right. When it created this one, I believe there are some buys opportunities here back to taking this high. Okay. So let's even see. Let's really look at something here. Let's see if we had some buys after price took out this low. When we go to 15-minute time frame. Okay, that was it. Okay. I think this is the low that was taken out, right? So yeah. But this was already late. This was already about late at night. Okay. Was already very late. Let me see. Maybe it was late, but then this move happened. I was during the PM session. During the PM session. Okay, so that was already quite late for an entry. But then if you wanted to buy at that point, the moment price closes above this candle, that would be your entry. You could enter directly from there, or if you would have been waiting for price to come back down to this fair value gap, maybe you would not have got tapped in. All right, but within this candle, this is the main candle that did the destruction. Okay, so I believe if we go to the 30-minute, maybe we'll see that clearly. Yeah, so 30 minutes, this is the bearish candle that had the massive push to the downside. All right, so actually now we are tied up in a range, so we'll just have to wait and see how price plays out before we start engaging. All right, and what is our expectation? We expect price to come into the daily fair value gap, and from there we'll continue lower into the weekly the Euro USD's weekly fair value was actually filled, so we're expecting maybe just to clear this inducement low. All right, so that's Euro USD. Let's look at GU GBP USD. Okay, all right, so GBP USD last week, we still maintaining what happened. We had lots of consolidation, throughout last week. GU was actually wanting to buy, but the momentum for DXY could not let it buy since DXY was trying to push higher. So whatever Euro was doing, it was, I mean, GU was just trying to drop more. And I believe a lot of you were trying to force some CRTs here, right? But, well, it doesn't mean you, even if you're trading CRT or whatever strategy, you're not going to have losses. You are going to have price take out your invalidation. And price taking out your invalidation likely means you are getting stopped out somehow, right? So it is not every candle that you expect that CRT that is going to play out massively, because you must have some losing trades, right? Because even if you had this to be our other block and then you expected this to be a CRT, it happens and price will must stop you out once in a while. All right. So, but at this point, we expected more lower prices. So this was not an area for us to be looking for longs. All right. We expecting more downside movements. I think even on the weekly time frame, that was very clear, right? Then see how this weekly candle closed. There was no reason for us to be expecting higher prices, knowing that we have this weekly fair value gap down here. All right. So we'll still expect lower prices for GU as well. Let's look at gold. I honestly did not check gold last week because I was busy with GU and Euro USD. Let's see. So we actually spotted this move. We spotted this fair value gap last week, right? And the price came down to 8, fill it, and we rejected back up to this point. So at this level now, this high is our main target. All right, you can even see CRT low punched, and then this candle be coming to this. I mean, we are coming back to this high. This movement is simply what we have, internal range liquidity. We are simply having what internal range liquidity to external range liquidity. That's the move, right? Internal to external. Internal range liquidity to external range liquidity. Okay, so internal range, we're having it in the form of this fair value gap. External, we're having in the form of this swing high. All right, so gold, we're expecting higher prices to come clear this high. That's on the weekly time frame. Let's see the daily chart. So daily chart, after we fill that low, taking this inducement into that fair value gap, the moment price closed above this candle, this was adding more confluence to higher prices, right? And also this, look at this now. There's something here. This is just so, it's just so clean. Once you see it, it's hard to unsee it again. See, we had this, we had a total soap from that candle's low into a key level, which is the weekly fair value gap, right? And once that happened, price even closed within the candle's range. So this candle here is already, this was our targeted candle, right? The moment we had a total soap into a key level, and this was Thursday. Thursday closed within that candle. This was like 99% probability that we are coming back to this high, since we know that the market delivers from internal to external, and coupled with CRT confirmation, this is just more than just watching it play out as clean as that, right? You just have to keep it simple. So we expect more higher prices to come and clear this buy side liquidity here. So we have here dump money. All right, we're having dump money at that point. So price will likely be clearing that high. So let's look at Bitcoin. All right, so we had Bitcoin on the weekly time frame, came back down, filled this fair value gap, closed slightly above it. And then this week again, we had a push down again, taking this candle slow and then rejecting high again. All right, so let's see, we could say that price is taking this slow back into this high. Maybe this can be a CRT. We don't know yet, right? But the thing about it is that we are bullish from this fair value gap. And the fact that we did not even close within it or inside the fair value gap adds more strength for price to continue higher. This shows more of rejection for price to clear this trend line liquidity and for higher prices. All right, so let's look at CAD-JPY. CAD-JPY, we're expecting more higher prices into this fair value gap. Looking at how this previous weekly candle closed, now we are having we have an inside bar. All right, price took out this candle's high. Now, listen, there's something here. The fact that price took out this candle's high doesn't just mean you should say it's a CRT. Okay, why I'm saying more of this is because I've had a lot of questions from so many of you about CRT and so on, where you misplace it, you put it at the wrong place, and you're expecting different results. It doesn't work like that. It is based on a context. All right, you don't just go to the charts, look for candle poaching a high, and you expect it to be CRT, right? Your institutional order flow comes first. And then this is just a mere confirmation that this is what might likely happen. So we have this as a targeted area, which is this weekly fair value gap. And the fact that price is doing this doesn't mean we should continue low. And then if you look closely, you see that we closed above this high, right? So meaning that we're expecting this area to even act as support. So let's look at the daily chart. Now, this is the daily time frame. We have this candle supporting price, all right, and then this fair value gap as well. So which looking at this, we can see that we're having price punch this candle's high, and we traded back down this much. So there's a possibility that we can take out this low, all right, and then we react somewhere around this point. This also is confluencing with this inversion fair value gap. So this is what I'm expecting for CAD-JPY, and then for more higher prices. Now into the weekly fair value gap. Okay. GBP GPY should slightly just be the opposite, I think. I mean, the same thing. It should be slightly the same thing. Weekly, okay. We're expecting similar thing. This high remains our CRT high on the weekly time frame because we also have that fair value gap here, right? So all we want to do is to get a good discount area for some longs, and then we'll hold it tight. And I don't think price should be taking this candle slow, even though this is a flagship reversal candle. So I don't expect the low to be taken out. Let's see 4 hour. Okay, some 4 hour, we had some longs at this point after price retested that area. We still have this other block unmitigated. So if CAD-JPY wants to really sell before he buys, then we can get some kind of a massive move when price comes back down to this other block on GBP, GPY into that. So we'll be taking out this is the weekly. So if we just slide back to this point, that will be 1:5 arrow. So we'll be getting some longs at this point back to the upside. I think we'll basically check all the pairs we are supposed to write. We are left with like about 5 minutes. If you have any question, you can type it on this chat. If you have something you want me to analyze, let's the chart. Let's see US30. US30, we keep pushing higher. Internal range liquidity to external range liquidity. Just what we're explaining on the gold. This is the same thing we have here. Internal range liquidity in the form of a fair value gap, which is a BC, weekly CRT, buy side liquidity punch, and the fact that the market closed above. This does not signal any form of an instant reversal yet. So we might just have a correction, but we expect more. CRT is candle range theory. I have a lot of, I have like about 2 lessons on that. You can check that on the YouTube, on my YouTube page, Gospel FX Trader. Check that on YouTube, you're gonna see that. Or any platform that you are, you just text or you request for the link of the video. I think someone will help you with it. Are we good? Is there any question so far? Let's see. S&P 500 is the same thing. S&P 500, same thing, internal range liquidity to external range liquidity. We just expect more higher prices. You can just get a reversal around a whole number. Maybe we're going to be getting it to 6,000. Okay. About 6,000 on S&P 500. I think that's the next targeted here, key level. That should be the next targeted key level, right? What is the meaning of an invalidation? Invalidation simply means it is what it is, right? It's invalidating an idea. Okay, let's give an example. Let's say you have price moving to an uptrend, right? You have an uptrend loading, and in order for the uptrend to keep or to maintain that uptrend movement, this low should be protected, right? This low should be protected. So you can simply say that price should not break out of this low, or you're expecting some other block here to start buying from, right? So, and then that will mean your other block here or this swing low should not be taken out if the uptrend is supposed to continue. So, which means if the market is breaking that, then it's invalidating your uptrend buyers, and you now start to look for down movement. This is very important. Invalidation is a key important thing on your analysis. If you don't have an invalidation, price will be taking your swing low and you'll be shifting your stop loss. I know so many of you are fond of that, right? You are trying to shift your stop loss maybe because you feel like the market should keep moving higher. This is basically because you did not have your invalidation. You did not have your invalidation, which is very, very wrong. If you have your invalidation, it's going to save you a lot of stress. It's going to save you uh, a lot of money, like I would say. It's going to save you with a lot of money, because most of the errors you make are where it's when you see price about to take your stop loss, which means your stop loss was actually in an invalidation area, but you are shifting it, which means you are now shifting your invalidation. And then when you keep shifting till price takes you out, or you blow your account, you will not rest. Why? Because you did not respect the invalidations that you kept. All right. So Mr. Tumba said we should check Boom 1000. We are actually out of time already. Would have checked that. Next time, try to request that early. Okay. Uh, GJ, we have already checked GJ. We have checked GJ already. And if you came in late, maybe you're going to watch the recorded lesson. I'll make it available maybe as soon as possible. All right. So, uh, this is where we end our today's backtesting session. I appreciate all of you trying to, I appreciate you all for making our time to participate on this session. I believe you've learned something new, or you've learned something that might help improve your analysis. All right. So make sure to respect your risk management. That's what is going to keep you in the game for a while, for a long. All right. Longevity comes by protecting your capital so that you'll be able to trade in the future. So respect your risk management, follow your trading plan. Don't get distracted with people posting up and down. Stick to your trading plan. So I wish you all the best. Enjoy your week and have a good night rest.